How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the... Actually, wait 1 sec. So I just wanted to get my thumbnail pose ready in advance. Make sure that's prim and proper. There's Lee's. James. There's Jordan.
No, I need to think of one. I want to think of a cool celebration.
Cool celebration. Sorry. It just came out of nowhere.
Have one with your lemsip.
Lemsip. Marketing director emailing James as we speak. But listen.
Lee, we got this in Philadelphia together. Do you remember?
What is it? I can't see it.
Oh, it's a coffee mug, but we had it.
Oh, yes.
7 hours at the airport because of the delayed flight. Whereas Turkish decided to go to North Carolina or something.
Yeah, or Carolina.
It's coming handy. Big up Philly.
Hey, we're back, people. Hit the like button first and foremost. And as you can see, it's a welcome change from the last couple of episodes. All smiles. And maybe people are just looking at me and saying, yeah, smile Turkish. Because, all that doubt, all that pessimism. But I did predict the win, and a win Arsenal duly delivered. So, we're going to get into it all. Make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, notification bell on, all of that. It's still the night of the third away win back to back at White Hart Lane. So we're going to enjoy. There you go. Put your freeze up, Lee. Put your freeze up.
Yeah, I like that for the thumbnail, I think, like.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. We're good. We're getting better throughout the stream. We're getting better. Don't worry. Jordan, you good?
Yes, boss. I'm all good. We've won more times in this fixture at their ground than they have.
Yeah.
That is such a mad stat. They should be ashamed of themselves. They should be just fully... It's embarrassing. But I love it.
All those years of closing the gap, and here we are. But hey, Lee, let me start with you, man. Because anytime I miss a North London derby, especially one that we win, and it's been 3 in a row now. I went to the first one of the 3, and I thought I'm a lucky man for that because I had to wait 9 years after the Rosicki 1-0 win. But we've done it back to back, Lee. Does it just get sweeter each time, or?
Yes, it does. It does. It gets sweeter. It gets sweeter. That one was the sweetest of all. That was two barrels of sugar and some sweets on top. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. They've come out. I've got to say that all my Spurs mates, my family, and all that, they all thought they were winning this game. You know what I mean? They thought it was nailed on. They got the best defence in the world. They've got Solanke, the best striker in the country now. You know what I mean? They've got the best left back. They've got the best fans. They've got the best goalkeeper. Well, according to them anyway, And to see them walking away at the end of the day, I went to one fan. He got a bit aggressive towards me, and I just said, "Look, take the L, mate. You must be used to it by now." Absolute loving. Now, this game means more to me than just the 3 points because of what goes with it and everything, like the banter and like whatever. So to beat them 3 times on their own patch, you know what I mean, is just it is lovely. And this one, I've got to say, guys, is the better one out of the 3. I've enjoyed this one the most because I always felt going to the last 2, if we turned up, we'd win, and we did. Played brilliantly for the 2-0. I think we was 3-0 up at half time last season without playing well, but today was a different game. It was tactically brilliant. I think that Arteta got everything right. You know what I mean? Spot on. Substitutions, the way he handled the game, the tactics of it all. I have to say, perfect away performance. Now, I'm not going to go too overboard about it because, as I said in my thank, they're a poor side, guys. They're poor. I've got to say that. So I don't know if we were that good or we're just up against a real poor side. 4 wins in 14 games they've had. Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, all relegated, and Everton at the bottom of the league. So we shouldn't go too much overboard about it, but it is them. And I don't care what anybody says, it makes it a little bit special because when we've been a very, very good team and winning titles, we've always found it very, very difficult there. But to get a result against them and beat them there 3 times in a row, you know what I mean? They've only won once at our ground.
I think we should go overboard about it. That doesn't mean we're going to win the quadruple, but soak it in, people. Wenger never won 3, North London derbies away in a row. We've done it with 2 clean sheets in there. Our record now stands at 10 wins in 11 games, 1 draw in our away record for 2024. 9 clean sheets, only 3 goals conceded. 2 of them were at North London derby that we won. I think there's a very strong argument for us having the best defence in the world. You can have that conversation. You can put our centre-backs up there with the best in the world. I grew up on an era of Arsenal after the era that you guys are so proud of. I was the soft underbelly era. I was the era. And everything about Arsenal, even before, just like Arteta's kind of no excuses, smile on his face, what will be, I'll put out 11 and I still think we'll get the job done. Was it perfect? No. Are we one set piece away from maybe saying we should have given it more today? Maybe, but we kind of played the odds, which was defend really, really well, stifle them, and you will get an opportunity. We took that one. Martinelli missed another in the first half. We had them in the palm of our hands. Now, to be fair, a lot of Tottenham fans, I've sort of been watching all the content, as you can imagine. A lot of them have been very gracious in defeat, but I still hear some saying, they didn't even play that well. They didn't even really do much. But 3 years in a row, that's undone you. So clearly we're doing something that Tottenham have no answer to. And I don't think we should just, I get what you're saying, Lee. Let's not blow things up into, wow, we're incredible. Because last week we had our doubts about the squad, and this week everything's amazing. I understand the need for balance and mediation a little bit, but soak it in. This is like a really, really great moment. I'm not saying Arsenal's history, like that's a bit overdoing it, but it's a really kind of great result added to a great record.
Yeah.
Soak it in. I'm with you on that. Soak it in. I've soaked it in with a few beers. Just soak it in.
I've had a few Ennies, so I think we're all at it. Jordan, what you had?
Well, on that note, before I give my thoughts on the game, can I just ask all of the listeners and viewers watching this show, this podcast right now, as soon as you finish watching this podcast, I implore everybody, go to Turkish's channel and go and watch his fan cam, okay? Turkish is buzzed, absolutely off his face, but in the most composed way you will ever see. Turkish is like me when I'm drunk. I don't drink anymore, but when I used to drink and I got drunk, when you're trying to talk properly, like you're chatting to a girl, for example, and you're mashed. So every single word, you got to focus. You got to really concentrate on what you're saying. That's Turkish. That's Turkish in his fan cam. It's hilarious.
6 minutes in, he goes, "This isn't much of a match reaction. I'm just waffling, but we won." And then he just
it's hilarious.
I didn't know what to do about Robbie. Usually he's there asking me questions. I was just looking at the camera thinking, Rob, where are you, mate? Where are you, man?
I watched it twice. It was hilarious. You were off your face, but in the most composed way. It's hilarious. Anyway, I've got quite a few things I want to say, and I know this kind of Turkish hates because it kind of messes with the whole structure of his show. So I'll try to be succinct. But James has started off taking a little bit of my thunder, because before we get into the players and the actual, and I agree, beating them 3 times is brilliant. Let's enjoy it. But James took a lot of my thunder, the defense. I want to start on the defense of this football team, because you lot know I'm not about dirty sheets. I like clean sheets. I like no goals conceded. But James mentioned that he came into the banter era where we were playing teams that weren't even that good, where we knew we had to score 3 goals to win a game. We knew we were conceding at least 1 goal. But to know we've got this defense now that I trust. I trust this team. The reason why I was so confident we'd win this game, I disagree with Lee. I don't think Spurs are a bad team. I think Spurs are a good team. No more. They're a good team. They're not great. They're not very good. They're good. But the reason why I was so confident that we'd win this game isn't because Spurs are crap and I disrespect them. It's because I trust this team to keep clean sheets. I trust this team. I've been through the years of Squillaci, even Koscielny at his peak. You never really thought he was rock solid. And we've now got a defense that take it personal. They hate conceding goals. And it's not even just about will and determination, which is important. You've got to be determined to keep a clean sheet. These guys know what they're doing. Saka's work rate off the ball, insane. Martinelli didn't have a good game for me, but defensively, he was absolutely on point. Didn't think Partey was good today, but did a job. Defensively, this team, you can't get shots against them. And when I'm watching my football team now, I'm just so proud because I know we might not score today, but we ain't conceding. And there's not many games back in the day where I could be confident this team's going to get the job done. So I want to just pay tribute, first of all, to the defending of this team. It's beautiful. The next point I wanted to make was Saliba. I need Saliba. I need a sleeper, something tonight. He's gotta be strong and he's gotta be fast and he's gotta be down for the win. I need Saliba. I'm getting that one going.
Tell me when he's done, people.
I'm getting that one going. I don't miss this. I heard it and I'm stealing it.
If Lee knew how to turn off his cam, he would have turned off his cam right there. I see him looking for the turn cam off.
In the stream.
I know it was.
End it. Let's end it here. Let's end it now.
Saliba is just absolute class. I thought Gabriel was another big goal from him, but the defender that I thought was actually my man of the match was Timber. I thought Timber was an absolute madman today. And the thing I like about Timber is he's always on. And what I mean by that is he's just always like, there's no chill with Timber. And I think in certain games, most games, it'll be a good thing. Some games, like almost today, it's borderline where you're like, all right, bro, just rein it in a little bit. You're going to get sent off in a minute. But in most games, I think him being on, when we signed him, it was the same summer as Declan Rice. He was the sign I was more excited about. Timber was the signing that I was really excited about because I knew we had a proper player. So I wanted to pay tribute to him because I think he was my man of the match, although I thought 3 of the 4 were great. Ben White wasn't great for me today. Ben White, it wasn't poor, but he wasn't great today. So I want to just mention that as well. And also wanted to mention the fact, finally, we've referenced before, James, the stream that we did, the live watch along about 4 years ago, where we went to White Hart Lane, whatever it's called, and we had to win the game, I think, to get top 4, and they beat us.
The 3-0.
It was a 3-0. Yeah, and I specifically remember before the game, everybody in the studio was talking about we need to be passionate. We need to be really, really like, it's a derby. We've got to get stuck in. And I think it was me, you, and Laurie was saying, no, we need to not be passionate. We need to be cold. And the 3 derbies since, we've learned from that game. Yeah. We have learned from that game. Look at the 3 games we've played. We have been machine-like, we have been disciplined, and we've been clinical. So this idea that because it's North London derby, you have to be 100% passionate, for me, passion doesn't win derbies. You need passion, but they don't win derbies. And you look at the 3 games we've won, they've all been, I think, a learning from that 3-0 loss where we haven't gone in emotional. We had a game plan and we've been clinical. And I'm just so proud of watching this football team. Whether we win the league or not is about quality and whether we can come out on the key moments. But I'm watching Arsenal and I'm telling you, at no point in that second half did I think they were going to score. The only way they were going to score is if they took a long shot that deflected. And they almost got one in injury time. I think it was offside anyway. But that was the only way they were going to score, because the way we defend, you just can't get near our goal, boys. You can't get near our goal.
Do you know what? Just like, so you don't notice it so much when you're at the Emirates because they're too far away. But like when you went to, we was quite near the ground, not near the playing pitch today, and they're doing their warm up and they do their last bit, and you could see the concentration, the game faces were already on. Like Gabriel, like was staring through you. You know what I mean? They didn't really know that we were there or whatever. Focused on the game, not I was going to swear there, not messing around in the warm up or anything like that. They was just really focused on what they were doing. And I looked at that and I thought, yeah, I like that. You know, Gabriel's a scary person, by the way. Met him in America, bigger, strong.
He's a unit.
He's standing there, and he's got this game face on, like, you know what I mean. You're thinking, oh, I don't want to mess with you, mate, and you're my friend. You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable, like, you know what I mean. And I just really like the way that they really were focused, and the you know. And I think another big thing was when he scored that goal, Saliba, who gets all the praise, everything, like, you know, even Jordan's making songs up about him, like, you know, he's there. Pointing at Gabriel, like, you know, I really like that. You know what I mean? They're a real team, and you know, said it earlier on when that little incident happened with Timber. Every single player, bar the goalkeeper's there, and if you have a little look at that, Saka's in there doing his little bit and all that. You know, love it. So right,
it's
funny. You know what I love as well? Timber didn't even need anyone. He just said, "What? No. And get the hell out of here!" And as soon as he put it on, Vicario wasn't on nothing after that, so he just ran over. I love that.
I loved it too. He proper. He wasn't on nothing. You're right, but it's funny because we were missing Rice and Odegaard today, and most people would probably say that they're maybe two of our three most important players. I don't agree. I think our two most important players are Gabriel and Saliba.
Yeah, miss one. Yes, I agree.
If you were to say to me, there's two players in your first 11 who you can't take out, it's not Saka, it's not Havertz, and it's not Raya, who, by the way, had another really slightly good game. It's those two at the back. Those two, I think, with Rice in the triangle, if you like, that is what's going to win us the title this season. That for me is going to get us to the last month.
But it's that we're so stacked in that position that if we had to play a game with Timber and Gabriel as a partnership, or Saliba and Calafiori as a partnership, I'd
still be confident. I agree.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's where because you're right. I mean, like, it's such a unique partnership. Like, what other areas of our team could we put up with the best of the world? I mean, that's the one you're most comfortable in. We put up our centre backs in any debate, as I've mentioned earlier in the pod. But Arteta just loves investing in the defence. Like, it's incredible. I mean, the defenders that didn't play today are Zinchenko, Kivior, Tomiyasu, and who else? There is one more.
You say Kivior?
Yeah, Kivior, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko. I know there's another Calafiori.
Yeah.
And Tierney. Don't forget Tierney.
Right, like, oh my god. Yeah.
Well, we all have, to be honest.
Turkish, give us your thoughts, man. You've kind of very gentlemanly let us.
Our most important player is Arteta, because it does. I mean,
I'm glad you said that.
I think that is it for me. And it's not like I needed this game to prove it. I've waxed lyrical about Arteta for a little while now. In terms of, I look at our side and I think, wow. And that comes with Arteta. I disagree with Jordan. I think even defensively, we could mix it up a little, and I still expect the same solidity and dominance. And I could see a Calafiori Saliba. I could see a Gabriel Timber, like James said. I can see various partnerships working just because of that's. It just seems like it's running through us now. It's running through our blood now to play like this, regardless of who's in, who's not. Pre-season, we looked at a lot of youngsters coming in, and we still played the same ball. Now, this time round, I wouldn't say it's the same ball, but Tottenham are going into the most possession in the league. We are the away team. In one particular area, we're ravaged by injuries. Now, I'm not saying, squad-wise we are light, but in one particular area, the midfield ravaged with injuries, and we still go away from home in a North London derby and feel quite secure. I think the problems Tottenham posed were kind of brought on by ourselves. A bit of lazy passing out the back. Tottenham did well with their pressing, but the only real opportunities they kind of created was through us giving the ball to them and through their pressing, which is credit to them. But I think just all in all, the way we play, we've got a gem in Mikel. I've said this before. Again, this ain't nothing new. I'm saying we've got a gem in Mikel. We've got 2 massive games coming up, but I've got 4 days to enjoy this one, because this is massive for me, because we had to start this week with a win.
Agree.
People were looking at me thinking I'm being harsh, saying we need to win this. We had to start this week with a
100%.
win. What it does now is it guarantees that, well, not guarantees that, because we still need to get something from the Etihad, but what it does, it guarantees that we start this week feeling like we're very much in the thick of it. And couple that up with a Liverpool loss as well, who they've started the season great. People might dismiss them early on. I think we had to win this one. Man City might have looked at this weekend if we hadn't beat Tottenham and thought to themselves, this season might be easier than we had thought. But after today's performance, after today's result, I think, we're there, but we've got to still be lucky with injuries this season, because we are bare thin. But yeah.
Just before you go on, I think let's just go back briefly and touch on Mikel Arteta, because you're so right, and it's getting to the point now where I have to just I do trust him what he picks. I didn't like the Trossard selections. When I saw the first 11, I was like, I don't know about that one. For me, it didn't work. And I was a bit like, not sure. But we got the win. So even though I don't think Trossard had a particular game in isolation, as a collective, what needed to be done got done as a group. It's not about any one player on those sorts of performances. So, and that was Arteta. We need to give Arteta his flowers, because if he got that one wrong, I'd be on here saying, bruv, what are you doing? what are you doing? Like,
you weren't happy with the starting 11?
I wouldn't have started Trossard, no.
Who do you started?
I'd have started Sterling. I'd have started Sterling. Yeah.
Well, after his cameo.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great when he came on. Granted,
yeah. Probably the worst cameo I've seen from a player making.
It wasn't great. It wasn't
Jesus
great.
It was no better, I will say.
Yeah, he wasn't good either. But the point I'm making is that I just think Turkish is correct. The single most important individual in our football club right about now is Mikel Arteta.
Yeah,
and just briefly as well, he signed a new contract this week. I personally want to give him a 3-year deal. I'd have given him a 2. I think 3 is.
It's a 2 extension on top of the 1 left. So
is it 2 plus? Okay, so it is a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, happy days. Happy days.
It keeps the pressure on.
Do you know what? There will be still people criticising Mikel, right?
Why?
There will be on the fan button. And I don't understand why. Because I think today you got everything spot on. And the best thing that he done today was, I don't know if it was him or whatever now, because some people have questioned it, is that when Saka went off, he put Jesus back onto the right-hand side, and basically saying because, he's got that more defensive nous and all that. And he just said to Wanyeri, just do your little tricks up front, keep the ball, take on players. I just think everything he got right today was fantastic. Outdone Tottenham. I still stick by it. I think they're under a little bit of pressure. Spurs, you know what I mean? Their run of form at this moment in time isn't great, and you get the sense of feeling when you go away from the ground today that all is not happy in the Tottenham camp, which is fantastic. Ange is now very, I don't know if you see his interview today, very, very prickly, you know what I mean? That ain't good. There's not good signs. But with Mikel, we're just doing everything right at the moment. And do you know what? I think it's a testament to us all on here. I know James didn't pick us to win, but he didn't pick us to lose. None of us on here felt that, even with the substitution, the injuries and everything like that, we all felt that we get a result there today. Mm-hmm. And that's because of what he's making us believe, I think, you know what I mean? That's the 3rd time I've gone there now thinking that I'm not going to lose. And, people are saying, my Spurs mates are saying to me, Dave, what do you reckon? I said, we'll get something because we've got a very, very good team still. And we have, you know what I mean? We get it that the squad may be not strong enough to compete at all the games we have. But when I look at it today, I looked at us today and you can see a well-drilled, well-organised machine.
And do you know what, Lee? I think you're right to mention that because of what this team have done. You're right. None of us went for Arsenal to lose. I actually came out of the podcast last week having said 2-2, which was such a stupid prediction. I actually said in the preview, we don't concede goals. Why I thought we'd even concede 2. But I was then on another podcast and I was feeling kind of bullish because I was like, I kind of think this result was a little bit of a wake-up call to the fan base as well. Look what they've done the last 2 years, this team. Look who they've competed with. Look at some of the results and forms they've put on the road. Yes, we're missing some players, but this team continue to and yes, until they lift the Premier League or the Champions League or even silverware in general, there'll always be that, but you haven't got over the line. But you haven't got over the line. But they are putting up serious numbers. They're putting up serious performances and results and records that greater teams, trophy-wise, didn't achieve. And here we are. And I just think the mood last week, I think we can all admit this, was a little down amongst the Arsenal fan base in the days before, certainly early last week with the Odegaard news and other things. And I think it was just a little bit of a slap in the face to us all, just there's a good team here still. And we had to do something, I was going to say we had to do something a little bit different. To be fair, even if we had Rice, Marino and Odegaard, I think we probably still would have parked the bus and looked to just sort of do what we did in terms of the game plan. But everyone was super committed to it. And I watched Mikel Arteta after he was talking about Jorginho, said, look, the guy doesn't complain. He gives his all in training all the time. He hasn't played a minute in the Premier League. And then I called on him to do 90 minutes. No complaints. And Jorginho wasn't great, but no one can question the commitment or the work rate. We keep saying, I keep saying, well, he does have the legs of a Rice, but the way he's moving around, trying to press and cover ground, you wouldn't think he doesn't because he's committed to the cause.
And he's intelligent.
Yeah,
he's intelligent, James. You're just sorry, I'll let you kind of finish, but you're so right to bring up Jorginho. I don't think he was very rusty today, but because he's so smart, I watched him for about 20 minutes. He doesn't put himself in positions where he can be exposed because he's so smart. He recognizes I ain't got the legs, and these Tottenham players have got legs. I ain't got legs, so I'm going to put myself in a position where I'm near to Partey or I'm near to Saliba, and I'm not going to be exposed. So you're just so right to kind of mention that about Jorginho.
Well, and you mentioned Martinelli and Saka and their work rate, and I mean, I don't know what people would have given for player ratings, but I do one on AFTV, on the AFTV website, and I gave them both 8 out of 10s. And a lot of people would probably go, that is mental, James. What did they do? But I think we sort of see that the highlight reels are made from attacking quality and technical skills. And, you know, we sort of praise the Pep Guardiola philosophy of football. But what we're doing defensively is as good as any attacking football on the planet right now. You know, what we are doing as a coached side defensively, the rotations in, you know, White goes out to Son, so Saka tracks inside and makes sure to follow Udogie, the constant moving, the constant shape, how compact we are, how well coached we are defensively, for me, is as good as any of the opposite side, you know, as any good attacking coaching
100%.
that I can see out there right now. And so Saka and Martinelli have to do their part in that. Now, yeah, on the ball, I actually didn't think Martinelli was too bad. He had the better of Porro one or two times. Should have scored. I thought he did okay. Saka, but look at the work rate. There was one moment in the second half where we lost the ball up the pitch, and Martinelli is sprinting back to make a really crucial block. I think it goes out for a corner or throw or something. And you're just like, yeah, that's not making the comps or the highlight reel, and people will question him. But I tell you what, Arteta's giving a big old pat on the back after and saying, thank you for the shift you gave me today. Yeah. And he'll have been delighted with his performance.
Havertz the same, you could say. He worked hard as well.
I was coming to him too, yeah.
Do you know what, though, with the two wide players, and have a look at it yesterday, and this is where I go on about Arteta. Say if it was Porro or Endoy, they ran inside, Martinelli and Saka followed them to a certain point from the tee, and then they stopped, and then it was then someone else took over. It was so well drilled, guys.
Yeah, you're right.
It was unreal, and you know, it's a lot of, you know, you're right what you're saying there, James. I give Saka a 6 and Martinelli a 7. I didn't think Saka was that good, but then it's his corner that gets the goal. But from the defensive point of view, they were spot on what they'd done today, technically. They've only got to miss that one little bit, but they never did once. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was a masterclass defensively away performance. I have to say.
Well, I've got to say, I think there was at least 3 10s in that back line. I think Saliba, Gabriel 10s, and I think Timber 10. I think Raya was just shy. Yeah, I think all 3 were
10s are perfect. 10s are perfect.
I gave Gabriel a 10 and I gave Saliba and Timber a 9 just because the goal won us the game. That's the only reason.
You know, 9s I'll give him and Saliba.
There was at least 4 moments in that first half where either Gabriel or Saliba last ditch block, last ditch challenge out of nowhere, because there was openings for Tottenham. So and Timber, in terms of covering all ground, and Raya, before we even went up, he made 2 saves. One from the cross-come shot. And one in the 6-yard box, I think, is Kulusevski.
He's been fantastic, boys. I've got to say that.
4 games in.
4 games in, he's been fantastic. I never, ever felt uncomfortable from a cross today, anything like that from him. When the ball went back to him, you know, I just feel, you know, I was even, I'm not going to lie, I watched Southampton yesterday. I was nervous for Southampton. You know what I mean? When Ramsdale was in goal, like, I'm more nervous than I was at White Hart Lane. But Raya, I first class goalkeeper performance from that today. Kicking, you know, most of them, whether it was on his right side or left side, was fantastic. You know, like, hold my hands up. And again, you've got to say who's that down to, whether you think it's right, whether you think it's wrong, ruthless or whatever. It's a top decision, and one that I didn't agree with, but proving me wrong again.
Can I just
go on.
Sorry, I'm not backtracking a little because I think the conversation rightly, you know, gets pulled wherever. But I want to bring Gabriel back in because after the first 3 games, I said Gabriel's got, you know, a big 3 games, big 2 games coming up, and he started it perfectly because listen, he made a couple mistakes in the first 3. It didn't cost us against Villa, did cost us against Brighton. Sorry, in my opinion. This one, I mean, we can argue at Saliba and Timber 9s, 10s, whatever, but Gabriel was a certified 10 from start to finish of that game, and that's exactly why I'm holding him to the standards that he's shown over the years. Hopefully, the silly mistakes are behind him this season because we can't afford moving forward anymore. But that performance by Gabriel, that's the Gabriel we saw for the majority of last season. Hence why a lot of fans were saying, wait, has he had a better season than Saliba even? They complement each other so well. But Gabriel, that bounce back, and I think he did need a bounce back in that fashion. Perfect.
Can I ask a question? Like, I obviously don't know what you guys watching on TV. Did you hear the song afterwards? Like they say, he must have been singing for about 5 minutes. It's fantastic.
No.
Gabriel song. No. Couldn't hear it, fantastic. They were singing that.
How does it go?
Oh, I can't. My voice has gone like
Jordan's song for us tonight.
Yeah, man. Come on, man.
You're letting the Fourever team down.
It's a fantastic song. It's a fantastic song, and the Arsenal fans were singing that for at least 5-10 minutes after. It was fantastic.
Is it the Gabriel song?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Arteta is the king of Brazil. That one.
Yeah. It's just like
give us
it's like unbelievable. But it wasn't. Didn't hear it. So that's a shame. That's a shame.
I just want. I'm really glad we're discussing kind of the defensive qualities. Maybe I'm a weirdo because I just love the set defenses and clean sheets as much as I enjoy goals being scored. There'll be so many games this season where I think we'll wax lyrical about goals and assists and patterns of play, and rightfully so. But I just watched the game today, guys. So happy. I was smiling the whole game because even at 0-0, I'm watching us as a unit drilled. I've said it before on the pod, but I just love the fact that these boys don't like giving shots away. They don't like giving shots away. And if you're going to shoot, you better do something super special, or it's going to be some fluky deflection. And James, you're so right about the work that Saka and Martinelli do. It is equal to an assist. It really is, because without their doubling up defensive work, we concede 2 goals. We do concede a couple of goals every single game, but because they're doubling up and doing their defensive work, it massively makes a difference. And it speaks to Arteta and the fact that everyone's got to pitch in. Every single player's got to pitch in. And I know somebody mentioned Havertz, and I'm happy to kind of pass the mic in terms of talking about Havertz. But even Havertz, you've got to pitch in, bro. Especially if you're not going to score a goal, you damn better sure kind of tuck in, chase the balls, win your aerial duels. I thought Havertz, it was a very team player type performance. He really did one for the team. What's wrong with this guy?
I thought
he had stocks in Havertz early, so I see.
I see.
Space Invader, everything like Turkish.
He had stocks in Ramsdale as well that didn't quite go the same way.
True.
We won't talk about those.
There's 1-1, Lee. It's 1-1. So I think it was James wants to talk about Havertz, but just on the Martinelli chances mentioned as well. I've got a little bit of sympathy for Martinelli, right? And I'll tell you why. Because my first instinct was pass it. You got to square it that Saka tapped into an empty net. But when I watched the replay, if he's going to pass it, he's got to pass it first time. Because you take a touch, I think this Doggy is kind of cutting, he's tucked back in. So he would have cut it out. Now, if you're going to then go and shoot, I'm not angry for him deciding to go and shoot, but you kind of got to do a better shot than he did. So although I was a bit disappointed that the outcome didn't result in a goal, I did have a little bit of sympathy for him in that I don't think he could have passed it when he probably should have passed it. And the shot, it wasn't great, but he did what he did.
You're being quite nice.
Yeah, I am.
And I'm a fan, but I think he should have done a lot better. I don't mind you shooting, but do it, make the keeper
put it away.
Make a save. That was hardly a save.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. We won 1-0. Cool.
Yeah, the forward line didn't really click today. It was clearly defense first. Sometimes Partey would drop into the back 4, and then one of Trossard or Havertz would have to come across and fill that space. I mean, how many times can we say it, right? The commitment to defending was unbelievable. But having spoken about Arteta and Raya, I think we've got to group Havertz in that conversation, because Arteta spent 100 million on these 2 a year ago, and I didn't get it. Not when Kudus was on the market, not when I felt we had Ramsdale, not when I wasn't sure what Havertz was going to bring. They have been really, really big, I think, in terms of why we've been able to be so disciplined and so structured and so good in these big games. it's not just a level of quality and performance. I think Havertz showed today he had some great first touches. You know, really good flick-ons, was linking play well. The work rate was phenomenal. There's so much when I talk about the comp stuff and the non-comp stuff. There's plenty of comp stuff there for Havertz. But something that kind of really resonated with me today was I just looked at him and I was like, he gets it. He just gets it. So one thing about Havertz, I will say, the big games when he's just shoving Conceição, the Porto manager, out the way. So thank you. We all wanted to do that as fans. Thank you for doing that. You know, in every North London derby, I think he did some media thing the other day and he was asked, you know, do you chat to Werner or I think it was Werner or any of this? He said, I don't chat to Spurs players. Like it's some people might see it as very performative, but I think he means it. Like I think he really gets it. Like he's an Arsenal player, so he fucking hates Tottenham. Like, and I love that. And I think you saw that in his performance today. There's just, you know, going down. Oh, I've got a little. I didn't do the thumbs up. But anyway, he's going down. He's like, oh, I just got something in my neck. Oh God, painful.
Yeah, I saw that. Total bullshit.
Things like
Total
that.
bullshit.
Like, I love it. You know, scraps. He's just putting himself about. He's just, you know, he won a throw in, and he's in front of the away fans, and he gets them going. You know, just like leading the press, big blocks, just like. It's just if you're 6'4", use it, and if you're an Arsenal player, let the fans see it. Like I don't know, he did really good stuff. I'm not trying to, diminish his performance into just like a passion merchant performance. It was way more than that. He did so much great stuff on and off the ball. But I was watching him today, thinking it's been a long time since I've seen Arsenal players and felt like I resonate with them because they get what the derby means.
Even sorry, to be honest, it just come to my mind now. But even for our goal, ball over the top, I think he took a good first touch.
Yeah.
He's up against Van der Ven. He chooses the smart option. He turns outside. He turns back, and then he just lays it off for I think Martinelli, who then laid it off for Saka, who takes a short corner. So even that goal, he played his part in that because you are right. He knows his limitations. He knows as well how to how to use the crowd. Bro, I mean, more of that. And if we go on to win stuff, then that's sort of a character, that's sort of a person, because that's gone in football now. I don't speak to that man because it's Tottenham. Obviously, he's not being 100% serious like how we might have been 20 years ago. But it's a welcome change from what we know. I mean, who did I see hugging before the match started?
Raya and Porro, yeah.
Raya and Porro. I was thinking, hey, let go of each other, mate. Get a room. It's about to be a match for 90 minutes, man. You look ready to hit the sack.
So
I don't really care about that personally. Sorry,
man.
James. That sort of stuff doesn't really.
Havertz hasn't got that, is he? He's not like that. He has got that mentality where he don't like people or whatever. I quite like that. You know what I mean?
So I saw the hugging before, and like Ryan and Porro give themselves. I mean, they must be like family friends or something. I don't know, because it was a proper long hug and embrace. It wasn't just a hey, how you doing, smiles. It was. So I thought, okay, they must be good friends or something. But then I saw and this, when you've won a game, it's so easy to overanalyze the little things or whatever. But then Ange Postecoglou came and gave Arteta a big hug and a smile. And I just think, like, now we've won it and you can look back at it, through the lens of a win. There was just something a little bit like Lil Bro about Arsenal to Tottenham today, which I enjoyed. I don't know what it was. Like, from what Arteta said about, we had players missing. We could have made excuses. We didn't. We were brave. We came to win. All our conversations about, is a point good? Should we win or whatever? Arteta's not for 1 second entertaining a point. He's going, I'm coming here to win. I don't care if I've got 15 injuries. I'm coming here to win, because that's the mentality and the standard that he sets in the team. And even if it is parking the bus and doing it a different way, he just cares about the result. And I just felt that there was something about Arsenal today where, and I can't quantify and I can't explain it, but there was just something very like, we've got this about Arsenal. Especially with the context of the players missing and everything. I was really surprised by the demeanor. Arteta very calm on the touchline. The players very assured in everything they had to do. Partey and Jorginho, tough ask for them. They stood up to it. And then after, it was just like, job done. Third time in a row. It's what we do. On we go. I loved it. It was very clinical.
I know Tottenham are poor, and it might be the reason for it. I think Lee said it earlier on, but what you just said, it just never felt in doubt. And there used to be a time where scoring a goal, especially for myself, was met with a bit of calm, because I knew how Arsenal could open up, They're not anymore. I mean, if you saw me today, as soon as we scored, I knew this game's over. I knew this game was over, because Tottenham are poor, But any moments they did have, our defense, our players were onto them, whether it was Saliba and Gabriel or Martinelli, Saka, or whoever it was. Everyone was putting in a shift. And I just felt once that goal went in, if it did go in, because I knew as the game went on, Tottenham ain't scoring a goal here. It's up to us to take our opportunities and make something of it. And we've done that. Jordan, you look confused.
I was just thinking, imagine being a Spurs fan. Just for a second, just imagine supporting Tottenham. It must be so horrible.
That's why they're nasty to us.
Not only are you rubbish, but your local rivals just come to your ground and just first time take your hi-fi, second time take your TV, third time take your laptop, fourth time make dinner. Just don't wash up and leave. It must be so horrible.
Don't wash up.
It's so true though. Like we come over from South London and took over North London, really, didn't we? They have a go about that, but basically we come over from South London, took over a whole of North London. You know what I mean? And now the bigger fish. So they must, you know what I mean?
They charge them to go in there as well. They make them pay to go to that ground and watch football games.
Unbelievable. And I tell you what, I was talking about this earlier to a Spurs fan. In the 80s, right? They was probably the dominant team in the 80s, right? Dominant club in the 80s. They won a couple of FA Cups, and by the end of it, we'd won the title. You know what I mean? In their best era. You know what I mean? Like, and then we just blow them away after that. But it is incredible. Like, that's why they're a little bit bitter towards us, I think. Like, And
I'm not one to do. Look, I'm really not one to do the whole trolling banter thing. But I always found it incredible that
I am.
But I always thought, and like I that's why I host Super Fan Debate, right? I don't really engage in all this kind of, I don't know, like I said, banter, trolling, and winding them up. But I always sort of do think like this kind of this Poch era that was kind of obviously I can't deny they had a very good team, got to a Champions League final, a couple title races, a couple cup semi-finals, but we lifted 3-4 FA Cups in that period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just. Yeah, I think that's sometimes forgotten when they talk about that era of dominance where they finished above us 7 years in a row. But like there was kind of nothing to show for it. We walked away with a few cups. And I do think that's what sometimes gets forgotten. Like I'm not as bad as we were. I'm not sure I'd trade our best days in that era for your best days, if I'm really honest.
No.
Best days.
They sit there like, I was talking to Flav the other day. He's on Sky Sports saying, I wouldn't swap my two centre halves for you. You know what I mean? Like that, they feel like they got, their back four was going to be in there, and their goal. I can't stand those combined 11s.
I'm with you, Lee. I'm with you. I can't stand. Sorry.
I can't stand them. But at the end of the day, they're trying to get people in there. And I think, well, what are you watching every week? You can't have Saliba. Saliba and Gabriel are far better than your two.
But Lee, this is what we've done to them. The gap between us and them is so big. They're lying to themselves. They know. I think Van der Ven actually is pretty good, and on his day, Romero
not that great. I watched it today. He's not that great. He's not that great
in comparison
he
to
lost as many headers as he won against Havertz today.
I agree. But I heard fans saying about, Vicario, Rayat's close. It's not. I like Vicario, actually. It's not close.
Yeah,
they're back two for our back two. I'm sorry. Son gets in on reputation now. And Udogie, I think Udogie over... Look, Timber, I think, is better. But I think at least we've seen Udogie. So I'd entertain that one, maybe. Everything else, I'm not having...
Not after today.
They're so bitter. They're so bitter and they're so twisted about how big the gap is. They're now lying to themselves. I've seen Fuad, I've seen expressions, I've seen all the Tottenham influencers. They know, but they've got to lie to themselves because it's like we can't have one player in the team. They know.
I'm not entertaining the Romero one. That's the one thing I'll say.
I'm not entertaining the Pyro one. I'll tell you what, like, Martinelli ain't gone past anybody. He hasn't gone past anybody for 2 months or 6 months. He went past him more times than he's done for the, you know what I mean? Come on. I don't know what they watch. Someone was saying that they'd take Ange as their manager over Arteta. You know what I mean? Come on. Have you seen him?
If you're a Spurs fan,
the Romero one, that there's a lot of this, like, you know, he's kind of one of the leaders at the back. And like, actually, he played all right today.
He played. He was their best defender today, James.
Yeah,
he was. He was.
When it mattered, Gabriel just little. I remember when Mustafi did that in a cup final, we all lost our heads. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, what for the goal? Yeah, poor from him.
It's actually mad, James. Up until the goal, I thought he was arguably the best centre back on the pitch. Up until the goal, I thought he was matching Saliba and Gabriel in terms of. I thought he had one of his better games. But you're right. The minute that's the one thing you're meant to do as a centre back. Corner comes in, you don't leave your man, and
they go on about these players like central defenders. They go on about They're going about. You got part of your remit is to be a defender, and part of your remit is to defend crosses and defend. They can't do that. So how can you ever think about putting them in the best? Do you know the best thing today on TalkSport? Driving home, like I nearly crashed the car. Right, one Spurs fan got on and said we miss Harry Kane because he used to because he could defend.
It's true though. It's kind of true. It's sad but true.
Did you see the Jamie O'Hara one? This was incredible. Hold on.
What, the tweet?
Yeah, have you seen it?
No. Go on. What's up,
Jamie?
Remember, kids, don't do drugs because, like, you know, they're just saying, like, you know, like Jamie O'Hara.
So Jamie O'Hara tweeted, "Give me Aaron Lennon, Huddleston, Keane, Defoe, Van der Vaart over any of these any day of the week. We sign players from Bournemouth, Burnley, Leeds and Forest and expect championship results. Hashtag Spurs, heads gone." To which HLTCO, who's a big Palace podcast and big Palace fan, replied to him, "You signed Defoe from West Ham while they were in the Championship, Lennon from Leeds while they were in the Championship, and Huddleston from Derby while they were in the Championship."
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's do not do drugs.
He replied, Jamie R goes, "Yeah, but they were decent." It's just a great conversation.
O'Hara's just, he's an inconsistent.
I can't talk. But,
he's another one that was putting all these players. He picked a back four. He said, "Right, pick your Arsenal and Tottenham combination." He put all of his team in there. He put Raya in goal and he put Tottenham's back four.
But you know, it's an interesting conversation about how good Arteta is, right? Because I'm not for 1 second trying to play down how good the players we have are. But I asked Tobes and Fuad on the Superfan debate, if Arteta had Spurs players, would Spurs have the best defence in the league? And I think Fuad said yes. I mean, basically, he was crediting how good we are defensively to Arteta's setup and coach, whoever. And look, I slightly disagree because while I actually think Porro is a very good player, I think you need a profile of right back to do what White does, blah, blah. Yeah. But it was interesting. Like, as much as I think Gabriel and Saliba are amazing, it just works hand. It's all harmonious. It's what they do brilliantly with the coaching that Arteta brings. And this idea that they're kind of always protected. It's only in the odd big away game that we'll sit deep like that. We play a lot of games on the halfway line with our centre-backs having to, sweep everything up in the opposition half.
But it's a slightly flawed question because I think that you can't take the back four in isolation. The reason why the back four are so good is because of Havertz. It's because of Saka. Yeah. It's because of Martinelli. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a kind of a false equivalence. And you can't compare back four back. The personnel aren't the strength. It's the 11. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It sounds mad, but because we have Havertz, that helps Saliba.
Of course,
if you get what I mean, do you know what I mean?
Look, the gaps from our deepest player to our highest player under Arteta is this, and then the width from our most right-sided player to our most left-sided player is this, and we move as this square unit all the time, and it's unbelievable. And actually, it's the last thing I want to say before we go on to Atalanta, unless people have more things I want to say on the game. I really like Waneri's cameo. Let's not go crazy about it, but 17-year-old coming in to a tricky situation, right? Holding on 1-0, big game. We need to win. Two things I loved about it. A, that he just big block on Son's shot from distance. A little shimmy. I don't know if he meant it, but it looked good.
When Sarr was on the floor.
Yeah, a little shimmy away from Sarr. Looked very composed. I think he's going to play minutes. Maybe not against City, but maybe Atalanta. Then in the coming games in Odegaard's absence, I think we just got to acknowledge that Smith Rowe and Vieira left because he's there now. So, yeah, lovely little cameo. But the second thing I loved, and it wasn't my original thought, someone else said it on Twitter, Arteta could have gone Kivior, and gone to a back five. He could have just chucked on Kivior, shoved Jesus to the right, 5-4-1, see it out, So I don't know what that tells us about Arteta's thinking and the trust he's got in the players to just go, I'm not going to give you an extra body at the back. You're fine. Keep doing what you're doing. And whenever you're ready to step up and do a job for, what was it, 10 minutes he was on the pitch?
10, roughly.
Yeah.
I think
it's quite a considerable amount of time. It's not sort of 1 or 2 minutes to see out to the final whistle, you know.
I think that's something to bring up again on Friday's show when we're taking a look at Man City and just after Atalanta, because I just think it comes down to how Lee started this. Tottenham are not a good side at this moment in time. There's a lot of gaps to exploit. In some areas they're doing well with their pressing and ball possession, but in other areas they're really there for the taking. And I think Arteta knows that. Maybe that whole back five approach might come in against the City, but that's something to talk about after Atalanta. Jordan, you was going to say something when
just before we move on to Atalanta, I want to give my comment of the day earlier because I thought it was something that was worth asking you guys. There's a comment here from last week that says Odegaard goes missing in the big games. This could be a blessing. I thought that was really harsh. I thought actually we didn't miss Declan Rice today, but I did think we missed Odegaard. And I just wonder if you agree that in the big games he goes missing, because I don't. But also, do you think that we win that game more comfortably if Odegaard? I mean, it's maybe an obvious question, but more comfortably if he's in that 11?
Yes.
What he missed?
I think so, because I don't think. But this is where me and James I spoke to James at half time, and I didn't think Trossard had a great first half, but James thought he was good in the first half. So that's where I look at Odegaard and I think we would have done better with him. But maybe James leans with this one, because I thought Trossard was probably listen, everyone played their part. That's the thing about these big games now. It's not when people say this player didn't turn up in the big game. More often than not, we're winning big games as a team. You know, it's hard to really identify. Like if we're talking about the attack today, for example, or even the midfield, I mean, there isn't really an outstanding candidate to take out of that. It's more we're talking about the partnership at the back, or Timber coming into midfield, or how Havertz drops in, or how Saka and Martinelli work back. There's multiple facets to it now. So I don't think it's like, when was he man of the match in a big game? Not just Odegaard. We're talking about multiple players. We all pull our part. We all play our part.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean,
I agree with that. I can't believe that, really. I think Odegaard is, I'm disappointed that he was out. But, what was really good about it today, and somebody said it today, is that, okay, he's out, but the machine carries on. They put another clog in there and carry it on. And that may be important that they've got that to their armoury.
I'm not trying to put a negative slant on a player I love to bits. But I guess a question would be, when was the last big away performance Odegaard had for us?
Tottenham 2 years ago.
Well, that's quite a long time.
Tottenham 2 years ago. Scored
the goal from distance. I remember that.
Yeah, he scored a goal from distance.
He played well. He played well in that game.
Yeah,
but you're right.
But my point isn't that he hasn't had big away games. I thought he was terrific. Newcastle in the 2-0 win, St James's Park. But again, that was
he was great in that game.
Yeah, that was 2 seasons ago. They finished Champions League football that year. Look, I mean, this is not me saying it doesn't perform in big games, but it requires a very different role from him. And in the same way I'm praising Saka and Martinelli for what they did off the ball, I'd go back to so many of those performances and praise Odegaard for off the ball for so much of those games. But I think that the kind of point was, if Trossard can replicate anything like the work rate Odegaard does, do we lose that much for that? I'm trying too hard.
I didn't think Trossard was great today, James. Did you think he was great? I thought he was.
No. I didn't think he was great. I thought Trossard was exactly what I expected him to be.
Yeah, I thought he done well. That was it.
He nearly won us the game with that. What should have been an assist for Martinelli.
Yeah,
but he worked hard. He's a Trossard, whether people like him or not, as a moments player. I actually don't know how often Trossard is scintillating for 90 minutes. I think he's someone who shows really great flashes. I think he's someone who works really hard, because you've got to play in the Arteta team. He nearly got a great assist. It was a touch, turn, and flick through to Martinelli. It was really good number 10 play. He won us the game at Villa Park. But he also has games where you're like, Leo, I'm expecting a little bit more here. So I've just come to expect that from Trossard, best 12th man of the league, as Turkish has said. So that's.
But I thought we'd done okay today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, the midfield looked leggy at parts, but we knew that was gonna come. And listen, Declan Rice issue behind us didn't cost us. We've got the 3 points. That red card, absolute nonsense. And actually, to be honest, Saliba got. Let me not even start on these refs because Saliba, 15 minutes in, got a yellow card for just holding the ball for 3 seconds. It was insane.
Come on, Turkish. It's a booking.
Nah,
Come on, Turkish. It's a booking.
But it didn't cost us. How are you going to say that's a booking?
That is insane. He held the ball and he ran back a good 5-10 meters before he threw it back.
5-10.
The problem is,
the
problem is that
give the ref the opportunity.
Arsenal fans are going to be petty now, and they have every right to be because Szoboszlai battered one.
I've seen it.
Nothing when
was
he
that
was
a yellow, Jordan?
And
why are you rolling your eyes at that? No,
no, it was a yellow, but this is the reason why I'm glad we won the game, and it's the reason why I was so confident we would win the game, because even without Rice and Odegaard, I'm just not here for the excuses. Just win the game.
I think Saliba give him the opportunity to give him a yellow card.
It's a yellow card.
I actually thought I thought the ref gave a load of Spurs players some really harsh yellows. Benton, Kulusevski, I was thinking, this guy's pulling it. So what made me feel a bit better about the Saliba yellow was he was being actually consistent in that.
He was consistent.
He was giving
everyone got a yellow card. You get a yellow card. You get a yellow card. You get a yellow card. Everyone gets a yellow card.
I thought, okay. Timber, red card or not?
No, not even a yellow card. Not even a foul.
I don't even think it's a foul, honestly.
He actually tried to get him sent off.
Yeah, he stayed on the ground for 10 minutes.
And what annoyed me was the punditry at halftime. They kept saying, well, he's tackled and he's gone over the ball. No, he's not. He's tried to control it. He's put his foot on the ball and he's controlled it. He's caught Porro a little bit.
But that's why I said that's why it's a foul. It's not a red, but it's a foul.
But Porro's also moved his leg towards the ball and Timber's got it and there's a collision. Like it happens. For me, Timber had full control of that ball. He got it.
James, he wasn't even hurt. He wasn't even hurt. Made it like trying to get him sent off there. I'm sorry, like you know what I mean.
He did.
It's one of those, you know, when they roll around holding their leg in the air.
Didn't even get
treatment.
When
they're rolling around just like, and it's right up in the air. That's when the ref goes, "Oh no!"
Yeah, no treatment. Didn't need treatment for it and all that night. Try to con the ref. Try to con the ref.
But he was consistent. To be fair, that's what I'll say.
Referee was good today. Consistent.
They're good when we win. Shit when we lose. That's the motto. But listen, we spent a good 57, and listen, we could spend another 57 talking about this game because I still feel like there's a lot more praise to give. But listen, we're here another 2 times over the next 7 days with Atalanta away coming up this Thursday night. Yes, Thursday night. It's not Europa League, it's Champions League. God knows what's going on, but we're going to find out. It's not that music. It's not.
That's the new Champions League music. They gave it a promotion.
They've changed it. Yeah, I don't like it.
We haven't gone back to the future, people. We are in Champions League. Yeah, but it's a Thursday night. And we are back again after.
I like that song.
It's great.
Yeah, typical you.
Before I put up the prediction table with the updates from the Tottenham result and predictions, just a heads up, people, download the AFTV Plus app. Go to the App Store, search up AFTV, and the app will be there. All you gotta do is just download it. Download it. Why, you might be asking? Download it because you can keep up with predictions with the Fourever Arsenal team moving forward. First game starting with Man City next Sunday. So as we make predictions, you can make predictions with us. So make sure you've got the app, make sure you've signed up, and make sure you follow us moving forward with the Man City game. And there's going to be, perks and things along the way. So make sure you do that first and foremost. Download the AFTV app. The prediction league is coming to the community. You can see ours. You've seen ours over the years. So make sure you put your, I was about to say your money where your mouth is, but put your comments in the comment section where your mouth is and actually keep up.
You slag us off. Let's see how good you lot are at it.
That's it. So download the AFTV app. Like I said, we'll be back after Atalanta. So first things first, download the AFTV app. So come Friday's episode of Fourever Arsenal, I'm not telling you to do the same thing again because you would have already done it. And then we can all make our predictions together. The AFTV app, like I said, search it up, App Store and all of that. And you can get
the league table up.
Put the league table up. There's a surprise, actually. There's a surprise because I'm such a genuine guy. I went back to the pod, and congratulations to Jordan, who predicted 1-0. He actually said 2-1 first, and then he changed it to 1-0. But let me let the people know, in the group, he said 1-0 first and changed it to 2-1. But I'm a man of the, I'm not a set blatter, people. I like to make sure the things are run well. So 3 points in the bag for Jordan.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Turkish.
Yeah.
Second,
have I got you on side?
I'm not that far.
Any more? Can I go? And he's an amazing man, beautiful hair. He's got, come on, man.
Guys, Lee's just figured out how to turn his camera.
Took him an hour. Took him 1 hour.
Incredible. That's the most high-tech thing he's ever done in his life.
I thought I was top of the league.
Oh, wicked!
No, but you're only second by letter of name, though. So really, you're joint top.
All right.
That's the only difference. You both correctly predicted one score. So yeah, the only difference is J and L. I should have put first and first.
No, my first name's Adam.
Your first name's Adam, yeah? It's saying Adam Judges.
Yeah, it's Adam Lee Judges.
That's one for the books. All right, we'll let Rob know next fan cam as well.
And Jordan's real name.
No, Aaron. It's Aaron. Sorry,
Aaron. And Lee predicted the 2-1.
No, 2-0. I predicted 2-0.
2-0. I predicted a 3-1, and James went 2-2. So James didn't get a point. He was leading the race. And here we are. Atalanta coming up. How we feel? I mean, I'm not going straight into predictions with Atalanta, but what do you think we do? I mean, that Rice comes back in, gets a game before City. What do we?
Rotation.
Yeah,
I'm nervous about this game. Gasparini's no joke of a manager, and Atalanta for a few years have been a very impressive outfit. They scored 3 at Anfield en route to beating the unbeaten side in Europe in Leverkusen and winning. I mean, it's as good a Europa League win as you're ever going to see. They deserve it for what they've been doing. Listen, yes, okay, my mum's Italian, but I don't tune into any Serie A football whatsoever. But even I know, of Atalanta's story over kind of the last 5, 6, 7 years. They'll be technical. They'll be energetic. And I have a feeling that. With City away coming up and the excerpts of the derby, that this might be one where we actually just struggle to get our second gear. I worry we might just be a little bit lackluster. So
how important is this one?
As long as we don't
very.
I don't think we know. There's 8 games to play.
Yeah.
We have no idea, really. I mean, you could do the maths or play some Football Manager, but I don't really know what combination of wins and draws or points is going to get you where, roughly. We're in this situation where, instinct tells me, here comes Mr. Miserable again, but instinct tells me a draw is a good point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Oh, my laptop disagrees with me. I have no idea. I have a feeling Rice will come back. I think I'd like to see something like Jorginho keep his place.
Yeah.
Rice come in. Partey ready for.
He needs to rest now. Yeah.
Saka and Havertz not playing.
I'd give one
coming in and Sterling.
I'd give
play
one
Martinelli and I'll play Trossard because they haven't. I play Trossard and Martinelli because they didn't go on international break, right? And you might think this is silly, but I'm bringing in Kivia and leaving out Gabriel because he's travelled to Brazil, played 2 games out of there, resting him for Sunday as well.
Atalanta are no mugs as well.
No, they're no mugs.
Yeah.
They're no mugs. But I think at the end of the day we can afford to lose this one if it comes down to it and still qualify.
Calafiori maybe.
Calafiori comes in, yeah, if he's fit, yes.
I mean, this is where I know it's so funny because a week ago we were really, we were kind of really questioning the squad depth, but here we are. We could, let's say, Calafiori's fit, conceivably play Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, right? Give White a rest, or probably not because he's not gone international duty. So maybe give Timber a rest because he did, and obviously he's recovering still from the injury or whatever. Then you can go Jorginho, Rice, and Waneri because you want to rest Trossard and Partey for the Etihad. You could go Sterling, Saka, Havertz, and you've actually rotated in 3-4 positions there. But my word, that's 11 I'm excited to see.
Yeah, and it's good enough.
Options are there.
I think we've got to have one eye on the the Sunday game because you're playing Thursday, then you got to travel back, then you got to play. So I do think, you know, and this is after what we've done today, this is massive game now, like, you know what I mean? So, and you want everybody fresh. And like, if you have a look at it today, you couldn't really make too many substitutions today because of the context of the game. So there's an opportunity to make a few there, like, you know, Sterling, see what you can do on you know, full debut. You know,
I agree with you, Lee. I would bring in Sterling for Saka, Jesus for Havertz, and Calafiori in for Gabriel. Those would be the 3 changes, and Partey, 4 changes.
Yeah. 4 changes.
I would bring in Rice for Partey. That's still quite a strong team. You've still got Saliba. You've still got Martinelli. Let's try and play him back in some kind of form. Do you know what I mean?
But it's going to be so weird because, like, if we lose to Atalanta, it's not like they got 3 points above us in the group and we need to beat them at the Emirates to capture. You know, that's gone. You're looking at this massive table of 36 teams, and you're going, well, who else lost? And where are? And then 4 games in, we're going to be looking at 2 teams that have nothing to do with us. We're not even playing, wondering what their results will be to see if we're. It's going to be really, really.
I think it's going to take time. I think 5 games in, that's when we're going to start looking at the table with 3 to go and thinking, okay, this is what we have to do. And it all actually, when I really look into it, all plays a part, because even where you finish in the top 8 plays a part in how far you go and who you meet later on in it.
Yeah. If they made those changes, you know what I mean? It's still a good side, boys. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a weak side, is it?
No, not
you know
no.
So I think, you know, and people like Jesus and Sterling need to get 90 minutes under
and
their
they're seasoned Champions League players as well. They're not kids.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and this is what the squad's for, to make those rotations, 2 or 3 players.
But what I would say finally as well is that I think that this is a big test for Arteta, because we've all said Arteta's cup record is poor. He needs to navigate changing from league to cup better. So Turkish's first question was, how important is this game? I don't think it's as important as if we lose, we're banging trouble. But I think it's important for Arteta to kind of get the rhythm of pivoting between league, cup, and just kind of getting that right. I don't think he can sack off even the first game. I'm not saying he's got to win the first game, but I need to see an Arteta team that makes me confident that he can get something in Italy, but also go into the City game with a team that's ready to compete in that game as well.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and when you turn around the Friday, Saturday before Etihad is
not
actually
a lot.
Insane.
Yeah, 72 hours, not good. It's not good, not ideal. And they've got an extra day off and they ain't got to travel neither.
Nah, 3 home games this week. It's very, very different to our week ahead. But we've started it in great fashion with the Tottenham win. Atalanta, Thursday night, 8 p.m. kickoff away from home. No mugs. Let's not forget, they've beaten Liverpool in recent years. They beat Bayer Leverkusen last year, the only team to beat Bayer Leverkusen last year across all competitions. And they got Lookman, who's managed to rebuild his name or kick on from his time over here in England, which is going to be a threat. Yeah.
Kolasinac.
Oh well, yeah. I forgot about him. That's a blast from the past.
Yeah, he's done well for them though.
Yeah, won a Europa League.
Can I get on with the prediction as I'm first? Can we just get on?
Go on, Jordan.
Is that all right? Is that all right, guys? Can we just stop wasting time? First time ever, I think.
Take a screenshot of that because you ain't going to be there much longer.
I don't think we'll win. I think we'll get a fortunate draw. I think the first game, new format, Arteta in cups. I'm gonna go 1-1. I'm gonna go 1-1 in this one.
Jordan's gone 1-1. Lee?
Yeah, same.
1-1, yeah?
Yeah.
Take a picture.
1-1. Jordan's got the picture. James, 2 1-1s.
Yeah, no, I'm actually going 0-0. You know those games where you get battered but somehow come out with a draw? I just have this weird feeling.
I think we'll get battered as well.
However we dress it up, City's the bigger game. There's time to rectify the Atalanta stuff. Yeah.
But sorry, go on, James. Go on.
Yeah. 0-0.
Just before Turkish gives his one, I think it's really important though that they don't have that mindset. I think a big reason why Arteta, I love him, is that every single game we must win. There's no, we've got City. You know my thoughts on planning for the next game. Win the game. The most important game this week is Atalanta, and I really hope he instills in his team the best preparation for Man City is a win against Atalanta.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I really hope we can talk that talk. But I think the players have to really have the mentality of no. We need to win this every single game. We need to
100% they will. 100% they will. I just,
But I hear you.
So close to that City game, isn't it? So close to it.
He's got to make a couple of changes.
Expecting changes, rotation, and I expect Atalanta to know that that's coming as well, and for them to take the game to us. So I think Atalanta win the game. I'm gonna
really
say 2-1 Atalanta. Yeah.
I'm just saying, have any of us bothered to check their results? So they beat Fiorentina 3.
They've not been great. They've not been great.
Right, no. So they beat Fiorentina 3-2 yesterday, but they lost 4-0 at Inter. They lost 2-1 in Turin to Torino, not to Juve. But they beat Lecce 4-0. I mean, this could go any way.
It can go any which way. I'm just expecting changes. I'm expecting them to go for the home side, our first test this season in the Champions League, and really notoriously throughout the last 3 years in Europe. 8th. We haven't really stepped up in Europe yet, so it'll be a welcome. Listen, go and smoke them. I welcome that, but first game before City,
1-2 loss.
Our turnaround is crazy for me.
Do you guys think?
Odegaard.
No, I don't think he'll play. But do you think that Mikel Arteta will actually go strong in terms of? Do you think he'll think, you know what? No, I want to win this. I'm setting my stall out. Saka starting. Gabriel
He's got to make changes, Jordan. He has got to make changes. You know, Partey, by the way, has played like more 90 minutes in the last couple of weeks than he's done for a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's just got to be a little bit cautious with it, like, you know. And I think maybe it showed a little bit.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
He don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think Partey might get rested. I think Saka starts. I think Gabriel starts. I think he'll go strong.
Jordan, I think he totally goes strong. But I mean, if remembering the suggestions I made, you know, if it's Calafiori comes in at left back, Rice in for Partey, Sterling in for Martinelli, Waneri in for Trossard, I don't think any of that weakens us.
No, I don't.
It's a weaker team, though.
They've got to get 90 minutes. Jesus has got to get some minutes as well.
No, boys, I'm with you. I'm just saying, I think what he will do, I think he will go the same 11 that started today, bar Partey.
Nah, why don't you gamble a point on that?
Look at you trying to get a little thing in there. No.
Try to draw him in. Why not? The game is the game. So predictions are 1-1 from both Jordan and Lee, who topped the table. James has gone 0-0. I've gone 2-1 to Atalanta.
God, we're miserable, aren't we? We just won the North London derby. And we're just like,
if we get a point over there, that'd be a good result, boys.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it keeps things moving, doesn't it? It keeps things moving.
It keeps things moving. Like good point. Moving out. A couple of players rested, all ready for the game against Man City, and then I think our next game is a home game in the Champions League. Is it to PSG?
Is it PSG?
3 points on the board.
I've got to say, up to November, we've got some horrific.
It is next, isn't it?
So we've got to be careful with his squad. We've got to. This is where he earns his money. This is what he wanted, a small squad of quality, which he's got now in all positions, so you can rotate. You know, last season he felt that he couldn't rotate, but this season I feel that he can and he will.
Big up to the 17-year-olds who were on the bench for Arsenal at one point when they were just sort of hanging around, sort of doing the warm-ups. And I just thought this must be such a surreal experience for them. Do you know what I mean? The likes of Cabia, Lewis Skelly, and you know. By the way, these players.
Who was Maldini?
Maldini. I find that a bit strange that none of them were on the American tour. A couple of them I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Well, we did have a lot of players out there, to be fair. But let me just get the bench up in front. So I know.
Is Maldini Italian?
No, I don't know. Maldini Kakuri, is he Italian?
Lovely name, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm about that.
I'll make a song up with him, Jordan. Give you a point.
Give me a week.
Albanian. He's Albanian, yeah.
Fully, yeah. His mum and dad must have loved Carlos.
Why ain't they on the American tour? Why wasn't he on the American tour then?
Well, like I said, we had a lot of players, but I mean,
You're
yeah,
talking
a lot of
Ismail
players.
Kabia, Maldini, Kakuri, Aiden Heaven, who we saw, Miles Lewis Skelly. I mean, must be like surreal for them.
Oh, shit.
We
What are you
laugh.
laughing at, Jordan? You know it happens, though,
You're a
bro.
madman. You're a madman.
It
You're actually a
happens.
madman.
Haven't you heard them things happen now? Haven't you seen that? What was it? I don't want to get it wrong now, yeah. But
I
someone
don't want
said,
no part of this.
someone said
I'm
people
not-
gotta stop leaving the football names. What did they say? They said I've
It's
just
not
met,
the Arshavin one, is it?
yeah, I've just met. Yeah, it's Arshavin. What was it though? Was it like I've just met? I forgot.
Don't say it.
What was it though? I can't remember. It was something, and his name's Arshavin, and I'm thinking, nah. But I'll find it for next time, people. I'll find it for next time. That Maldini one, definitely. Big up Albania, but yeah, I don't know where that one came from. Let's move. That's the predictions for this one out of the way, people. So let me take the prediction table off the screen. But a reminder to download the AFTV Plus app. If you just search up AFTV, the AFTV Plus app will be there. And from Sunday's game against Man City, at some point this week, you can make predictions for that game. Obviously, we'll make ours on Friday after Atalanta. So play the game with us, people. Play the game with us. Apologies, we couldn't get this in time for the start of the season, but it's in now. And like I said, moving forward, you play the game with us. We're going to be playing the game with you as well. So make sure you download the AFTV Plus app. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed and all of that good stuff. Comments of the day. We all good?
Man.
We all ready?
I thought we could finally wrap this up, man. I'm shattered. Let's go.
I just want to say, first of all, over 100,000 views for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a big up. Thank you for everyone that tuned in for that.
130,000, yeah.
We get 130 in here. Blimey. Well,
back to back. 1,000+ comments as well.
Incredible support, like, you know. I've gone for how is Turkish the most positive person on this panel with his predictions? How? Because it is absolutely. it was quite funny. We were like completely against it, and when they said predict you at 3-1 the Arsenal.
That's what people are getting on to me in my comments saying,
unbelievable.
Negative all week. I said, you do know I predicted 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, we went 3-1. It was a bit of a
down
shock.
to it. Turkish hates Tottenham. He hates them.
Simple.
And you expect to beat them. That's it.
Brilliant.
I actually had that one as well. But
yeah, it's brilliant. I had another one just in case I didn't have one, but like, you know.
I've got this from Mr. El Papi. Sure you've all seen it. I screenshot this early, like back when he only had 2 likes, and it's racked off like 50 or something now. He said, I watched the episode while getting tattooed. You guys helped with the pain, reminding me nothing is more painful than supporting Arsenal. Big up to you guys.
I did have that one.
Pressing some comment.
Go on, Jordan. I have to apologize though, because there's over 1,000 comments, and I'm sure we've missed a hell of a lot of good ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I gave mine earlier on, but I do have a little anecdote that I wanted to kind of tell you guys. I was at the bus stop the other day. I won't say where because people will know where I lived in. I don't want that. Although I will say there's a lot of Fourever Arsenal fans in West London. I get stopped in West London a lot, and people are like, oh, anyway, I was waiting for the bus stop, and and this guy comes up to me, and he goes, "Excuse me, why Turkey so miserable?" And I had my earpods to listen to music, right? So I took it out because I could only half hear him, and he's like, "Why Turkey so miserable?" I was like, "Bruv, I don't know what you're talking about." What? Oh, sorry, mate. But I love the pod. I love the pod. And then I realized what he was saying was, why is Turkish so miserable? So I was like, listen, off camera, he smiles a lot. He never smiles. He never smiles. And then he goes, but I respect Lee and James and the boys. I love the boys. Really good.
He fucking respects you, Free, and he wants me to.
He's like, I respect Lee and James and the pod, and well done. I love the pod. Have a good day. And he just kept it moving. So I want to shout out my man because he was like, Turkey. Why is Turkey? Why is he so miserable? He never smiles.
He's labeled the whole nation as miserable. Well, all right, you know.
Turkish. It was mad. It was mad. Sorry, I found that funny anyway. You got a fan. You got a fan. But he said he never smiles. He never smiles. I was like, he does smile sometimes. I promise you. He does smile.
Sometimes, man. Sometimes.
When we beat Spurs, he smiles.
I've got a couple actually. I had the one that Lee said, but this one was funny. Turkish was so confused. Lee spent 10 minutes arguing with him, and in the end said, "I agree with you."
Yeah, I saw that,
I was
I
actually.
that one as well. It was quite funny.
And this one, I love these ones now, but this one's perfect. Akshat says 47 minutes and 6 seconds. Lee starts being honest. 47 minutes and 35 seconds, doubles down on his honesty. 48 minutes and 17 seconds, he has done it again. Listen, that, and I actually went to every single timestamp, and it's actually bang on.
Hopefully, I haven't said it today, like, you know.
He didn't. To be fair, he didn't.
Cool. Lads, pleasure as always. And we are back, people, Friday after Atalanta before Man City. So make sure you're here as well. Make sure you're subscribed while James is letting off fireworks. Listen, we've just won the North London derby back to back to back. So fireworks it is. James, one more time for the people.
Yeah, but it doesn't always do it like back to back. It's so annoying.
Stage fright. It's all right. It is what it is, people. Hit the like button. Show some love to the video, to the channel, to the individual channels as well. Lee Judges TV, Gooniverse, Whisper It Loudly, Turkish LD, and the Big Six. Thumbs up there from James. He's got it in. The threes are up from Lee. The threes are up from Jordan. Why not, people? Let's put the love for the love. All right. Peace.